the head of an extinct dodo bird kept in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford. This is the only preserved head of the extinct animal. A drinking fountain, for colored only, USA, 1940s. The feeling. When the Statue of Liberty stands in your backyard, USA, 1930. A newspaper seller selling the latest edition, 1939. Hitler's favorite actress, Russian spy Olga Chikova. She was one of the main organizers of one of the most promising attempts on the Führer's life. But at the last minute, Stalin canceled the assassination of Adolf. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated a few months before the creation of the Secret Service to protect the president and other high-ranking officials. Ironically, the bill to create the service was on Lincoln's desk. Survivors. A7762, A7761, A7762. This is how the Nazis designated 3 sisters when they brought them to Auschwitz in 1944. Adolf and Rudolf Dassler, brothers, founders of Puma and Adidas. They hated each other so much that they didn't speak until the end of their lives. A man from Ukraine killed and ate his brother during a period of severe famine. Civil War period, Russia, 1921. An orphan's prayer in an orphanage, New York, 1947. Homosexual inmates in women's clothing during corrective labor, Colorado, 1900s. This girl found this photograph in an old family photo album 66 years after the start of World War II and learned that her kind grandfather was a Nazi soldier involved in mass killings. A photo from a New York parade celebrating the end of World War I. A car with captured German carrier pigeons drives past the spectators, 1918. A bronze statue of Hachiko at the spot where he waited for his master every day on the day of his death, 1935. On an evening just like this one, many years ago, Madonna showed off incredible skill in a bar with friends. Oh, Madonna, 1980s. Yugoslavian flight attendant Vesna Vulovic. In 1972, she fell from a plane blown up by terrorists at an altitude of 10,160 meters, 33,330 ft, landed in the snow, and survived. Madrid, Spain, 1960s. Small, large, and ugly people who were exhibited as human curiosities to the paying public in the United States, 1932. In 1904, Ota Benga was kidnapped from Congo and taken to the USA, where he was displayed in a human zoo. The most common goods in the store window: prosthetics. Post-war London, 1946. Egyptians try Pepsi Cola. Cairo, 1946. Inflatable bra, 1950. Inside a German World War I submarine. Princess Diana in her car shortly before the fatal crash. Throughout the USS Triton's secret mission to circumnavigate the world submerged, the only unauthorized individual to spot the submarine during those 60 days was a Filipino man on his canoe who noticed its periscope. April 1960. Chinese and Malayan girls forcibly taken by the Japanese to work as comfort women, World War II. It is estimated that up to 90% of comfort women died by 1947. Cemetery of German soldiers who died near Moscow. The inscription on the plaque on the nearest cross reads, "They rushed to Moscow, but ended up in a grave. A vending machine for fishing worms, USA, 1965. The audience at a session of hypnotist Anatoly Kashpirovsky for obesity treatment, Russia, 1989. The emotions of a man who served over 38 years in prison for a murder he did not commit, after being found innocent, Ohio, USA. A crowd of white, civilized Americans mocking two participants in the Black Civil Rights Movement, 1965. In the early last century, there was a low-paid profession of tunnel guard. Workers lived in huts near the tracks, cleaned debris before trains, and had little time for sleep and rest. A pearl diver on the Mississippi prepares for another dive, USA, 1938. Using an old fuel tank as a helmet, he could dive up to a depth of 21 meters in such an apparatus. A woman tries to stop bulldozers from demolishing her home to build a highway. The standoff lasted several days. On August 5, 1958, 5 sheriffs posing as reporters entered her home and disarmed her. The court awarded her $9,000, and the house was smashed to pieces. Protest against Prohibition, USA, 1932. A family in the slums of Toronto, 1914. One of Hitler's doubles was his chauffeur. In the photograph, he is to the left of Hitler. The driver often substituted for Hitler at various events. This cage, known as a Mort safe, appeared in 18th century Scotland. Medical students were digging up graves for practice, so families installed these heavy iron grates to protect their deceased relatives. Man versus machine. African runner Matthias Kanda from southern Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, competed against a steam train during his training and never lost in a race, 1968. An elephant named Tyke attempted to escape from a circus in the U.S. Police shot her 86 times before she died. She died over 2 hours. The next time you're told that animals enjoy working in circuses, remember this photo and the panic, pain, and helplessness in her eyes. Victorian women who never cut their hair, 1885. Pablo Escobar inside one of his cash vaults. Legend has it he spent $2,500 a month just on rubber bands to hold his money together. Colombia, 1982. A grim spectacle at a London fair. Black people are used as targets. England, 1975. Dagestani duo. The husband rides on a donkey. The wife carries the whole market. Dagestan, 1936. Japanese soldiers using Indian prisoners of war as target practice. World War II. An orphaned boy adopted by an air regiment writes, "For mom, for dad," on bombs. Ham the chimpanzee returns to Earth after a spaceflight. USA, 1961. Annual canal cleaning in Amsterdam, 1963. Over 20,000 bikes still end up in the canals every year. Creepy dental x-rays from the past. The medicine of the past could surprise you. Just look at this dental treatment. A rally in support of Hitler's political ideas. Photo from 1937. This rally is considered one of the largest in history. 8 years later, in 1945, many participants would claim they never supported Hitler. The trenches of World War I after 100 years. In Germany in 1941, an inflatable Aryan doll was created for soldiers. The goal was to stop the spread of syphilis from Parisian prostitutes for the purity and health of the nation. Liberated Jews who were traveling on a German death train, World War II. Future President of Lithuania, Dalia Grybauskaitė, working at a construction site, USSR, 1971. One of the largest aviation disasters in Germany, during a bombing demonstration from a dive at low cloud cover, 1939. Jews queue at a travel agency hoping to leave Germany for Eretz Israel, Berlin, January 1939. Posing in the style of the Headless Horseman, 1920s. Punishment for drunkenness in Chechnya, 1990. Meet Félicette, the only cat in history to survive a trip to space, Paris, 1963. Churchill poses at the entrance to Hitler's bunker, sitting in his chair. The unemployed stand in line at Al Capone's free soup kitchen, the Great Depression, Chicago, USA, 1931. A downcast Ugandan ambassador at a UN General Assembly session, 1974. The world's first photograph, which is also the first photograph taken during wartime, the Crimean War, 1853. Police Sergeant Birchue stops a stolen car, USSR, 1988. Jewish women moments before facing execution in the ghetto, Latvia, 1941. Japanese people commuting to work in the morning, 1964. Due to population density, pushing and embracing strangers is an everyday occurrence for them. Back then and now, people in Tokyo don't live there. It's very expensive, but they all work in the capital, so they commute for several hours from the suburbs. There are so many people in Japan and so little land, so bumping into and hugging strangers is common. In the winter of 1950, the Korean War reached a brutal peak. This photo shows thousands of refugees risking their lives to cross the shattered beams of the Taedong Bridge. Workers lay a wooden water pipe east of Lewiston, Idaho, 1891. A mannequin head made from soap, toilet paper, and real hair used by John Anglin to escape from Alcatraz Prison, USA, 1962. Sleeping with the Enemy, collaborator girls of the German-occupied Europe. A French girl wearing a German uniform, 1940. After the war, such girls began to be publicly humiliated. In 1989, the Jack family disappeared after moving to Prince George, where the father took a logging job. After a call saying they had arrived safely, they were never seen again. This remains one of Canada's enduring mysteries. The Japanese during World War II displayed unprecedented cruelty, killing more Chinese people than the Nazis killed Jews. Tens of thousands of Chinese women were raped. Many of them were killed. The wedding of Freddie Mercury's parents, 1946. Illegal abortions remained a reality in the USA until the early 1970s, when the procedure was considered murder. However, many doctors continued to perform this procedure underground. The owner of the abortion clinic in the photo would be tried for murder. Annie Jones, a bearded woman who worked her whole life in the circus. Her mother sold her into it when she was just 3 years old. Mixed family smile for a self-shot. Looks like one of the two is holding the camera, with their little baby, England, 1940s. Vibration therapy, 1890s, a curious treatment for headaches of the era. Ainu girls started lip tattoos around age 7, enduring years of cut and soot ink with no anesthesia. It was painful, repetitive, expected before marriage. Japan banned it by 1871, nearly erasing the rite. A hut in the Las Vegas Valley, USA, 1895. In 10 years, Las Vegas will gain city status. In 50 years, gangster Bugsy Siegel will open the Flamingo Casino, the first step towards becoming the gambling capital of the world. In 120 years, Las Vegas's McCarran Airport will serve around 50 million passengers annually. Cormorant fishing is an ancient tradition in Asia. A ring is placed on the bird's neck to prevent it from swallowing large fish. The cormorant brings the large catch to the owner, who takes it and rewards the bird with a small fish. Pretty Boy Floyd, a public favorite. In 1930s America, he robbed banks, and with each heist, he destroyed all the mortgage records, thereby relieving hundreds of people of their mortgage payments. 17th century poison box disguised as a book. Home massage, 19th century. Few know that the first refrigerators were specifically designed to cool beer. Prisoners of the Sachsenhausen concentration camp liberated by Soviet and Polish troops. Germany, 1945. An unbelievable family photo. Nevada, 1960s. 100 years ago, this man was considered incredibly fat and was even showcased in a circus. Treadmills were once invented as a punishment for criminals. Convicts climbed 10 to 15,000 meters, which was more exhausting than mine work. Halloween at an American school, 1980s. A shell carrier, Nigerian Civil War, 1968. 1935. Engineers and laborers on a pipeline segment over the canyon at the Hoover Dam construction site. There are no safety ropes or helmets, only suits, hats, and a stoic look for the camera. An Indian kindergarten textbook in which a white woman is portrayed as the ideal of beauty, 1990s. In 1950, a journalist criticized Marilyn Monroe, saying her beauty was due to expensive clothing. In response, she wore a potato sack and held a photo shoot. Anti-Reagan poster, widely circulated in 1984. Victorians loved morbid photography. Beheaded portraits with people holding their own severed heads were popular photo illusions in the 1800s. The most offensive will. Australian Francis Lord bequeathed his fortune to friends, charities, and servants, mentioning his wife last. He left her 1 shilling so she could buy a tram ticket, go somewhere, and drown herself. Loggers and a giant fallen tree in California, 1892. Days after the coup led by Augusto Pinochet in Chile, with U.S. support, there was a mass burning of Marxist books. Santiago, 1973. An Indian elephant used by German soldiers for the front. World War I, 1915. Japanese children at a farewell ceremony before being evacuated from the city to the countryside due to U.S. air raids. Tokyo, 1945. Whether this clip sparked joy, anger, or just a bit of annoyance, I want to hear your thoughts below. Stick around for part 2 coming soon. Please hit like and subscribe to support the channel. See you!